Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, the best place for all you passionate entrepreneurs to scale your income and impact. Yes, both of them online. So I'm very excited to be here today. In today's video, we're going to discuss about personal branding and how can you build your own personal brand online using the power of social media. If that sounds good to you, let's get right to it. So before we go into the step-by-step way of building your own personal brand on social media platforms, I do want to discuss the definition of personal brand overall, like what is a personal brand. Let's see the exact definition. So personal brand is the conscious and intentional effort to create and influence public perception of an individual by positioning them as an authority in their industry, elevating their credibility, and differentiating themselves from the competition. Okay, a lot of technical jargon, but what is it simply? So it's basically positioning a person as a brand. Yes, that's correct. That's what a personal brand is. And how is it different from a usual brand? Is that a brand necessarily does not need to have a face. Although if it can, it's nothing like that. However, a personal brand always needs to have a face of a person, because in this scenario, you are positioning a person as a brand. As in the case of my brand is me. It revolves around me. So I have a personal brand. On the contrary, Nike is not a personal brand. On the contrary, Go Live Media, I don't know if you know about it, is not a personal brand. You can go and check out these on Instagram as well. They are not personal brands, but there are various other influencers who are personal brands. For example, Gary Vee, Saloni, Patrick. There are so many people who are actually personal brands and positioning themselves as their own brand. Now, a personal brand can be used in different ways. Doesn't mean that if you have a personal brand, all your products, services, sales, influencing, deals need to be via your personal brand only. You can also have a company. You can also have another brand that is aided by your personal brand. So basically, a personal brand can do two things. One, it can be used directly to do the transaction aspect of business. That is, it can be directly used to sell products or services or get brand deals or a combination of any of these. However, you can also use a personal brand to aid your main business. That is, use and grow a personal brand to direct people to the service-based or product-based business that you actually run and keep pumping in a steady flow of clients, products, customers through it. So it can be used in different kind of ways. Another example of that would be building a personal brand on LinkedIn to get better job opportunities. So you can use that platform, you can build a personal brand on it and make sure you get better job opportunities and better positions to work at. So how to use any social media platform for that matter and build a very strong personal brand. Are you ready for it? Let's start with the first most important thing, which is actually niching down. Yes, it's been said multiple times. Yes, I have reiterated and told this and discussed this so many times now. However, building a personal brand without having a micro niche is actually a mistake. It can lead you down a hole wherein you don't want to go. So basically, the first important step of building a strong personal brand is finding your own micro niche. It doesn't mean that no one else has to be doing that. It doesn't mean that you can call it an industry as a niche. It doesn't mean that if you are into finance, then finance is your micro niche. No, finance is an industry. You could be into investments, you could be into stock investments, you could be into mutual fund investments. If I'm talking about the weight loss market, you could be a Zumba instructor specifically for females. You can be, if you are in the dance market, you can be a children's dance instructor. And that too a specific dance. You can be a children's salsa instructor for that matter. So likewise, a lot of opportunities are there when it comes to any different industry, and make sure you pick your own micro niche. I'm not talking about a generic niche. I'm talking about a very, very specific niche, because no matter how you plan to monetize your personal brand, whether it's sending people to your main brand, whether it's getting better job opportunities, or whether it's actually utilizing your own personal brand to sell products or services, you need to have a clarity and an expertise in that specific micro niche of your choice, so that you can get better brand deals if you want to influence. You can get expert status and actually get clients and customers like that. And also you can charge premium to those clients and customers, because you will have an expertise in that micro niche and you dominate that world. You are not a generic person who does everything and a person is confused whether I should go to this person for this specific need of mine. No, you will lose out on people, but they are not your target audience. You will gain the best clients and customers possible with your micro niche. So make sure the first very important step here is to have a micro niche, whatever your industry might be. If you're confused that you're in an industry wherein you don't know what sort of micro niches can be there, comment below and I would love to highlight it over on my Instagram or through another video, whatever it is you'd like. But please make sure that you do have a micro niche decided for yourself. So this does not mean that your decision has to be instantaneous, that okay fine, one fine day you wake up and decide your micro niche. No, you can research upon your interests, upon what your audience likes and where is it that you'd like to draw a line. It doesn't mean if you've already started building a personal brand, you may be on it for the last 2 or 3 years, could be a few months, whatever it is, you can always choose to rebrand, provided you know who it is that you want to help via your brand and business and who will be the target audience who will consume and benefit from your content. Follow a step-by-step process of research your likings, your knowings, people you know who are your target audience, talk to them, do empathy interviews, and then make sure you choose your own micro niche. That is the ideal way to go about it. Now, after you find your own micro niche, moving on to the next important step, laying out your ideal client persona, ideal client avatar, you can call it anything, but you need to know with respect to that micro niche, who is it that you're targeting. Now, sometimes you need to do both step 1 and step 2 together because they are interrelated. Your micro niche also has your ideal client in place. So you can do both of these together and make sure you lay down your very specific details of your ideal client or your potential ideal customer. Who is it that you'd like to serve? So answer a few questions related to the demographics of these people. Are they from a specific city? Are they from a specific gender? What are the age groups of these people? So these questions are very, very demographical, very specific questions. However, the underlying ones are more important. What is it that goes in their mind? What are they facing a problem with? What keeps them awake at night? What are they actually searching on Google? What is the problem that's coming to them? For example, if you are targeting someone who's just given birth, go into their psyche and start thinking about what they would Google. If they are a first-time mother, they would probably Google as to how to handle a child in multiple different ways. And that's true. So likewise, in different kind of niches, you need to get into the mind of your consumer and actually understand the problems they are facing, the motivations that they currently have, what is pulling them down, what do they want to achieve, whether all they want to achieve is a good night's peaceful sleep, what is keeping them awake. So you need to answer all these psychographic questions as well. Make sure you're not stuck on just the demographic aspect of it. You get deep down into the psychographics as well and understand this person from a more human level. Here are 2 easy ways of doing it. So basically, if you know people in your life who are actually your ideal audiences, who fit into this ideal client avatar, go have interviews with them, go ask them questions, take them out on coffee dates and just get to know them better on a more personal level. What is it that they are facing a problem with on a daily basis with respect to your micro niche, with respect to your industry? Sometimes it may not be very specifically related to your industry, but it would be indirectly related. So just without any notions, without any preconceived notions, get into the interview, talk to them and just try to know them better from all different angles so that you can analyze and find out more about your ideal audience. This is the number 1 way of doing that, and you don't need to limit yourself to just one interview. You can do multiple interviews with multiple different people who fit the bill when it comes to your ideal audience. The second way of doing this is, if you don't know people in your real life, go to social media, find people from their social media presence. What do you feel they are searching? What are they talking about? What do they watch on Netflix? What are the problems that they are facing on a daily basis? What kind of stories do they put? So online, analyze a few people to find the right kind of audiences. Then again, you can ask them for online virtual interviews as well. If you're not comfortable in doing that, simply write down the name of that person with whatever you think, whatever they've told you, whatever data you've gathered from them, and then that becomes your ideal customer. You can also give it a name. You can also give it a name of, say, Sarah as your female ideal customer. She has this name, she has this much height. Just envision her so that you have a more detailed idea of your ideal audience. And those are my 2 ways of making this simpler. Do try them out and let me know. Now, before I move on to the very important next step of this process, if you do want more help from me on the ideal client document or ideal client avatar, I have a free guide for you that you can download by clicking on the link in my description box. Go download it right away. Start using it. It has an example done for you with exact questions you need to ask. So go utilize it. So now let's move on to the next very important step in the step-by-step framework of building a very strong personal brand using the power of social media. The next step is building a very strong content strategy. Yes, that's right. Before you build your content strategy, before you decide what is it that you would like to post, you need to know the answer to the first two questions that I've asked you. That is, what is your micro niche and who is your ideal client? Based on both of these, you create a content strategy that would work out in bringing this ideal client of your micro niche closer to trusting you and your brand online. A lot of people you might not be able to meet in like physical presence, you might be able to meet them online, and that's okay too, but you do need triggers to bring those people closer to you via your content. And that's the reason it's very important to build a cohesive content strategy which just does not educate people but helps them build their trust in you. And trust me, when it comes to building a content strategy, educational content alone cannot do that. People need to know you, and that's the reason the fourth step in this is to infuse your personality into this content strategy. And that is done by bringing in some personal aspect of your life and sharing with them. Now, I know this can be difficult. I know you need to be extremely vulnerable to do that, whether it's on your stories or your graphics and your feed, but you do need to bring out some of your personal content so that people can actually connect with the person who's behind this brand as well. That is not your personal brand in this case, it's you. So for people to connect with you, you need to share stories, real life stories of you. Who are you? Why should they connect with you? What are the values you follow? Who do you like when it comes to celebrities? I am again not saying to spam your entire feed with content just about you, but say if you have a grid of 9 posts, your personality can be infused into all of them via your branding, but make sure that one or two of those 9 posts in a grid need to be a little more about you. Subtly, directly or indirectly, that's your call. You can share stories of inspiration, you can share stories of failure. It truly depends on how vulnerable and how comfortable are you opening up. Initially it might be difficult, but eventually you could possibly get into the habit of talking more about what's happening and how is it affecting your business, how is it affecting their clients' businesses. For example, if some social issue has happened where you live, talking about it, opening about it will help you get closer to your audience, because they might be in the same boat. They might be feeling the same uncertainty that you're feeling, and it's okay for you to come show up, talk about it. They feel more connected to you by doing that. Again, this doesn't mean that you have to share sob stories all around on your feed, or happy stories just about you, your kids, your pets, your family, again all around on your feed. But you need to infuse yourself, your stories, your personality all across your feed. Yes, your personality needs to come through. Your content might not be all your personal content, but make sure you infuse it here and there in your cohesive content strategy, and you'll start acing your personal brand on social media. So moving on to the next and the most important step for literally anyone on social media, specifically for personal brands, is to be social on social media. Now, there are various ways of doing it. For example, engaging with the right kind of audiences, engaging with people who work in similar niches in which you work, engaging with people who might have a similar target audience but yet a different offer, and that's okay too. I did a video on being social on social media a while back. I'm tagging it here. You can go check it out later for more inspiration. But this is by far the most important thing for you to be on social media. Connect with right audiences and make sure you yourself are doing the engagement that you want to come back to you, because that is very important. With how Instagram works in 2020 and the coming years, it's not going to become a platform again wherein you post and everyone sees your content. Only people who engage with your account or who you engage with will actually see your content. And that's the reason it's again very important for you to be social, to connect with people on a real human level. Now, at this point in the video, you learned what is the difference between a personal brand and a normal brand, and how can you leverage a personal brand in multiple different kinds of ways. For example, getting better job offers, or getting discovered, or aiding your main brand, or even selling through your personal brand. All of it is possible. A lot of opportunities are there, but you need to go and start working on your own personal brand, and we discussed the step-by-step way of doing that effectively. So if you liked today's video and would genuinely love to work work on your personal brand. I'd love to know what is your micro niche specifically in the comments below, because I might know your ideal audiences and I might know people I can connect you with. So the best way is for you to open up and share what's your micro niche. Who is it that you'd like to connect with? You might find similar people right in the comment section as well. So do make sure to leave a comment. I'd love to know your thoughts on today's step-by-step video. So while you wait for the next week's video, I post a lot of other videos on social media, marketing, and online businesses. Make sure you check out these 2 videos today right away, and I will see you soon in the next video. Bye for now and have a great day.